Let's go Ravens! The NFL draft is just around the corner, and the excitement in Baltimore is reaching fever pitch. The buzz is electric, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes that Ravens fans need to know. If Baltimore is serious about making a run to the Super Bowl, then John Harbaugh is going to need a roster loaded with the right talent. I've got some insider takes you won't want to miss. But before we dive into it, make sure you've smashed that like button, only if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan. And if you've been riding with this team for over 20 years, drop a comment saying, "Go Ravens! My heart bleeds purple and black." Now let's get into it. With the draft imminent, all eyes are on the Ravens front office and what moves they're going to make. But there's also an undercurrent that's impossible to ignore, the ongoing saga of Lamar Jackson's treatment in the media. Once again, Lamar finds himself at the center of a storm, not because of anything he's done wrong, but because of yet another round of comparisons, this time with Alabama QB Jalen Milroe. NFL Network and ESPN have recently been drawing parallels between Milroe and Lamar, with some analysts going as far as asking whether Milroe is a better runner at the quarterback position. Sound familiar? It's the same old narrative that's plagued Lamar since the start of his NFL career. Doubted, questioned, and underestimated, despite having a resume that most young quarterbacks can only dream of. What's wild is how Lamar is simultaneously undervalued by critics, yet used as the gold standard. He's not just a comparison, he's the comparison. It's as if any fast black quarterback automatically becomes the next Lamar Jackson. And this isn't just lazy analysis, it's dangerous. It sets these young players up with unrealistic expectations while continuing to diminish what Lamar has accomplished. Jalen Milroe, for his part, isn't shying away. When Browns GM Andrew Berry said Milroe might be even faster than Lamar, Milroe agreed, boldly, publicly, and without hesitation. It's a gutsy move, and while confidence is key, that's a heavy weight to carry for someone who hasn't even stepped on an NFL field yet. And let's be honest, there's only one Lamar Jackson. His blend of athleticism, arm strength, football IQ, and leadership is unmatched. This isn't just about Milroe either. Remember last season when Jaden Daniels was being compared to Lamar? It's a cycle we've seen again and again, young quarterbacks thrown into the shadow of a player who has redefined the position. The reality? Lamar isn't just a mobile quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback, an MVP, a player who commands defenses to change everything when he's on the field. Ravens fans know the truth. We've seen Lamar carry this team. We've seen him make plays no one else in the league could even dream of. So when the national media tries to box him in or use him as a yardstick for others, it's frustrating, but it also shows just how impactful he really is. The league still doesn't know how to define him, and that's because he's one of one. Meanwhile, the Ravens draft strategy seems poised to lean defense early. Prospects like MLE Williams are generating serious buzz, someone who could bring that Carlos Dunlap-level edge presence with real versatility. There's also talk of targeting Darian Porter, a wide receiver turned cornerback who could bring unique insight to the secondary. As for the offensive side of the ball, Baltimore might have their eyes on Isaac Tesla, a slot receiver who's taller than both Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. His speed and game acceleration make him an intriguing option, and it wouldn't be shocking if the Ravens went for a top 100 playmaker like him. The versatility in the receiving core could be crucial, especially with the kind of offensive innovation that Lamar thrives in. And let's not overlook the trenches. Depth on the offensive line is always a priority, and the idea of grabbing a player like Willie Lemon, someone who could play all 5 positions, screams Ravens football. Tough, gritty, and versatile, just the way Harbaugh likes them. This draft has the potential to shape not just the 2025 season, but the future of this franchise. And with Lamar locked in as the centerpiece, every pick matters. But one thing is clear, the media may keep trying to define Lamar by who comes next, but Ravens fans, we know there's no one like him. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about these constant comparisons to Lamar Jackson? Do you think it's fair to put that kind of pressure on young quarterbacks, or is it just part of the game now? I'll be back with part 2 soon. Stay tuned. Let's go Ravens! We're back with part 2 of our deep dive into what could be one of the most pivotal drafts in recent Baltimore Ravens history. If you caught part 1, you know the buzz is real, from Lamar Jackson still being used as the ultimate benchmark for any dual-threat QB, to how the Ravens might be eyeing specific prospects to reinforce both sides of the ball. But now, we're going deeper into late-round gems, potential steals, and the mindset inside the war room at the castle. The final rounds of the NFL draft are where smart teams separate themselves. And if there's one thing the Ravens have historically done well, it's identifying late-round talent that fits the culture. Names like Geno Stone, Chuck Clark, and Bradley Bozeman all emerged from these lower rounds, and based on the mock drafts and chatter around team insiders, it looks like Baltimore is once again zeroing in on high-character, high-effort guys who can contribute right away. Let's talk trenches again. The name Willie Lamar popped up earlier, and it's worth revisiting. Standing just around 5 feet 11 inches, he might not have the size of a prototypical NFL lineman, but don't let that fool you. His motor, versatility, and fundamentals are screaming next Pat McCurry. Imagine having another utility lineman who can slide in across the interior whenever needed. That's the kind of roster flexibility that wins games in December and January. Also, J.J. Pigay is a name that keeps circulating, a defensive tackle with the kind of relentless energy that could earn him snaps not just on the line but in goal line packages as a fullback. That hybrid utility is something the Ravens have dabbled with before, and Pigay might just bring back that kind of versatility in a new age package. Then there's Braylon Allen, insanely fast, twitchy, a home run threat every time he touches the ball. But here's the kicker, he's got fumbling issues. And you already know, that might be a deal breaker. Baltimore doesn't play when it comes to protecting the football. Still, if he cleans that up, you're talking about someone who could instantly energize special teams and even carve out a role in the backfield rotation. On defense, there's some quiet but real intrigue around Smale London Jr., a twitchy linebacker with raw tools that could put pressure on Trenton Simpson to step up or step aside in the near future. And speaking of depth, Jackson Slater is another name floating around, a 6-position offensive lineman with real collegiate experience at every spot on the line. That kind of flexibility can be the glue for a unit, especially during the injury-heavy middle of the season. And we've got a local story worth rooting for. Rayon Lane III, a Baltimore native who participated in the Ravens' local pro day. Ballhawk ability, military background, and a reputation for excellence on special teams. Sound familiar? Fans of Geno Stone might want to start paying attention, because Lane has the makings of another special teams ace who could grow into something much more. One of the standout insights from this draft overview is how character and fit matter just as much as raw talent in Baltimore. Players with legal issues, questionable work ethic, or locker room concerns, the Ravens are steering clear. Mike Green and Walter Nolan are two big names potentially falling out of contention because they don't play like a Raven. The same goes for players like James Pierce Jr., who some scouts call uncoachable, a red flag that this organization just won't overlook. And that leads to strategy. While the board might tempt Eric DeCosta to trade down from pick 27, the reality is that there may not be enough willing partners this year. So don't be surprised if Baltimore stays put and grabs the best player available, especially if that player can make an immediate impact on either edge or interior D-line. MLE Williams or a player with similar traits could be the kind of pick that keeps this defense elite for years to come. Looking across this projected draft class, one theme stands out: versatility. Whether it's defensive players who can shift positions, offensive linemen who play every spot, or wideouts who can double as return men or slot threats, this team is clearly building around depth, adaptability, and resilience. Add that to a locker room led by Lamar Jackson, and you've got a blueprint not just for the playoffs, but a real shot at the Super Bowl. So Ravens flock, what do you think of this strategy? Are you excited about these gritty, high-upside prospects that could define our future? Who do you want to see in purple and black next season? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it. And if you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around, because we've got more Ravens content dropping soon. Watch the next video right here on the screen. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Go Ravens!